I'm super excited to share this video with you on what I've learned about breeding clown killifish, Epiplatus annulatus. Let's get to it. So I'm going to start off with the 10-gallon aquarium that I have with fluval stratum in it. I originally set it up for shrimp, and I decided to go ahead and change it over and put some clown killifish in there and see what I could get going. So I have some Java moss, water sprite, Rotala wallichi, and hooker moss. That's the easiest way to say it, is hooker moss, so I'm going to keep it that way. But you can see here I have a lot of hanging roots from the water sprite. I have a big giant nest of Java moss in the front of the tank, which I think is where they primarily lay their eggs. I have a double sponge filter, but I have it set at very, very low flow because they really don't require much water flow at all. And with all of this plant life, it's doing really good. You can see here the roots have a lot of area, surface area for them to lay eggs. Up top, there's a lot of area for the fry to hide. It's a pretty cool setup. Originally, I started off with one male, which is pictured here, and this guy basically was the focus of my project. With some other females, he created a first spawn that I didn't really get to see because I was recovering from surgery. But I have fry here, and I believe this is the pair that I ended up picking out for my project. I had to look really closely at the males because underneath you see the little fin that's forming. And right here you get both daddy and son. So I took dad out. 5 months later, here we are. Here's the son grown up, and he's been paired off with a single female in this tank now for about 5 months. I've been looking and looking and looking and hoping that they would finally get to age to where they'd start producing, and lo and behold, I found a fry. And this got me really, really excited because, I mean, I did it. I actually duplicated the process, pulled out fry, grew them up, and then they created their own spawn. So the focus that I had on trying to create water parameters for the fish to breed was really what I was looking for. So I got that all taken care of. These fry are very hard to find, but I started noticing as I was looking around, I was getting the footage for this video, and I noticed, hey, look, there's a fry there, there's another fry over here. I got fry hiding out, and as I tried to look closer and see what I got going, I started noticing I had some really small fry that looked kind of underdeveloped and not as developed as the first fry that I was seeing. So, of course, I started getting more footage, trying to compare the different sizes. This guy looks a little bit older than the other one just showed. There's one in the top left corner, up right underneath the logo. No coloration, just the body and very, very small tail. So he's pretty new. So that gets me thinking, I need to look around, see what I got going here. You know, it's hard to see, hard to focus, but I was able to get some good shots like this one of what I got going on in there. And then I see him on the left side, a little fry. Again, they look underdeveloped compared to what I was looking at when I first started making this version of the video, or this cut section of the video. So this kind of got me more excited. I'm trying to get more footage for showing you what I got going on. And there's footage of the dad that I was trying to get, really. And then I noticed on the left side, out of the corner of my eye, I was like, hey, what's that thing? Again, another really kind of fresh fry. Doesn't look like he's too much older than a couple of hours, maybe a day, half a day. So I posted this on my community tab because as I was looking and I got out my macro lens, I saw this little sucker here trying to get up from the moss bed that's at the front of the tank. To give you a little perspective, here's what I caught. This is where the picture comes from. But you can see compared to the moss how tiny this thing is. And then compared to the roots of the water sprite and the moss, look, you can even see my fingerprint on the glass. That's how tiny it is. So I was real excited. I'll post a link so that you can go check out that community tab or rewatch the video here. But that's when I started really looking and noticing that the number of fry that I have in here is way more than I had the first time 6 months ago. And this one looks like he's starting to get a little bit of color. So I don't know yet well enough how long it takes for the color to start developing. This might be from a batch 2 weeks ago, since they spawn every 2 weeks. I'm gonna really have to pay attention. If you're wondering what I'm feeding the fry, I'm feeding them Bacter AE. It seems odd, but it works. At least so far it has worked. All the fries seem to be healthy. They're pecking away at it. I also try to do baby brine shrimp, but I think the baby brine shrimp are still too big for most of these fries, so sticking to the powders. If I had some golden pearls, I'd probably feed them that, but Bacter AE seems to be doing the trick. We'll see what else we can do. Now, of course, you can see I go through and I get a lot of video just searching over the top because now I'm curious to how many I have. Well, it's funny because after doing all of this searching with the camera, I put the camera down and walk away, come back to the aquarium, and of course I see 5 or 6 freshly hatched fry sitting up at the top. It makes me want to pull the parents out and put them in another tank, but not yet. I'm kind of holding off before I do any of that. And leave me some comments on what you think. I kind of want to see how they do at this stage because this is the first batch of fry that I'm starting to see from this pair. So if it's working, I might as well leave them in there, right? But I'm also concerned because I know the parents will start to eat the fry. Especially if there's too many in there, and there's quite a bit in here compared to the first spawn that I had 5 months ago back in July. Either I'm doing something right or the conditions are better for them to produce more. But as I get more accustomed to what I'm doing and familiar with it, then I'll work on trying to get a higher yield. It's all about keeping it shrimpable, I don't want to get it to where it's too much manual intervention. But at the same time, I know if I want to get higher numbers of fry out of each spawn, then I probably need to be prepared to have 3-4 tanks so I can move the parents around or the fry around to either grow out and not get eaten, or to have multiple tanks going with reproduction. I'd love to have 4 or 5 tanks with a male and female in each one. I think that'd be super awesome. Some really good footage here. These things are tiny, and if you decide you want to get a pair and start doing a little bit of breeding, happy hunting, have fun with it. I know it looks like it took me 6 months, so it seems like it's a big ordeal, but it really isn't. That's what I wanted to share with you. If you get the water right and you take care of it, keep it clean, I think your clown killifish will thrive. you have some good places for them to lay their eggs, if you have good places for the fry to hide, you'll have you a little colony soon just from a pair. So good luck.